everyone, so in today's video we will be completing all the reactions from chemistry first chapter, which is chemical reactions and equations. I just got the order wrong, I'm really sorry about that, but without any further delay, let us begin. So this is from activity 1.1, where we will be burning magnesium ribbon, and then it will be reacting with oxygen and it will form magnesium oxide. So let me tell you one thing, that not all the reactions are of balanced, because most of the reactions I have written here are unbalanced or skeletal equations. Okay, now when zinc granules are added to dilute sulfuric acid, they will be forming zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. And again, this reaction is given in the form of an example to show how balancing of chemical equations takes place. So that's why I have written it twice here, you can see. So it's iron plus H2O. So basically gas, it will be forming ferric oxide plus H2. Okay, now again this is an example to show you all that how we supply heat to reactions, like how we represent them in a chemical equation. For example, I am passing 340 atomic power, then I will be writing on top of the arrow 340 in the presence of 340 atomic energy. Okay, and then now this is an equation for photosynthesis. So CO2, when it reacts with hydrogen in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it will be forming all these products, and you have to memorize this one. Now let's move on to combination reaction. So when calcium oxide reacts with water, it will be forming calcium hydroxide plus heat. So by the way, let me show you all an important thing. What are some common names of calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate? So when calcium oxide is reacted with water, it will be forming calcium hydroxide, and when calcium hydroxide is reacted with carbon dioxide, it will be forming calcium carbonate, which is marble or limestone. So basically these are the common names. Let me read out for you. So calcium oxide is known as quicklime, calcium hydroxide is known as slate lime, calcium carbonate is known as marble or limestone. Now where were we? And this is an equation for burning of coal. This is also pretty important. It's just carbon reacting with oxygen and then it will form CO2. But in exam they might ask you write the equation, or you can say reaction for burning of coal. Okay, and now again this is also a simple equation where we are combining two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, then it will be forming H2O. Now this is of burning of natural gas. So methane, when it is reacted with oxygen, it will be forming carbon dioxide plus H2O. Okay, and this is of respiration reaction. So basically here you can see the glucose is formed. So when glucose is reacted with oxygen, it will be forming carbon dioxide, H2O plus energy. This might sound you a little bit similar because we have seen this carbon dioxide, H2O plus energy in our life processes chapter. So basically respiration in presence of oxygen, we know it's an aerobic respiration. So this is an aerobic respiration reaction. Now let's move on to decomposition reactions. So most of the decomposition reactions are endothermic because we are supplying heat in some form, like heat, sunlight, or it can be electricity, and it can be photolytic. Now when iron sulfate is heated, it will be forming ferric oxide, SO2 and SO3. Now again calcium carbonate, when it is heated, it will be forming calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So this reaction is important because we might accidentally write calcium hydroxide plus H2O, since calcium carbonate is made by calcium hydroxide itself by adding carbon dioxide. But still we have to remember that when this is heated, it will be forming calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And now this is a very important reaction. So basically when lead nitrate is heated, it will be forming lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. Now this nitrogen dioxide will be in the form of fumes, actually to be more specific, brown fumes. Now one speciality of this equation is that not only lead, there can be any metal. Okay, so instead of lead you can take magnesium, then it will be magnesium nitrate. When heated, it will be forming magnesium oxide, NO2, O2. Okay, the products will be similar. Now this is an example of decomposition reaction when we keep silver chloride in sunlight, so it breaks down into silver and chlorine. So the same activity can be performed with bromide also. Now let's move on to displacement reactions. So in displacement reaction, we can also call this a single displacement reaction. A more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal. So we all know the reactivity series, right? So here iron displaces copper. So in this, when iron is, here I have written solid because iron nails are added to copper sulfate solution, then it will be forming iron sulfate solution, and the copper which was in the solution will be deposited on the iron nail, and due to the presence of iron in iron sulfate solution, the copper sulfate solution which was blue will be turning into green color. Now similarly, the same activity can be performed with zinc as well. So here zinc will again displacing copper, and when lead is reacted with copper chloride, it will be forming lead chloride plus copper. Now let's talk about double displacement reaction. So the double displacement reaction takes place between two ions. One is positive ion and other one is negative ion. So here, once again, so here sodium is a positive ion, isn't it? I'll be writing here, okay, and this is a negative ion. And again, let me write with something else. Here this is a positive ion and this is a negative ion. This is negative, this is positive. Now here sodium will be reacting with a negative ion. So here in this compound, chlorine is the negative ion, so the both will combine. And here barium, sorry, not barium, but yeah, this will react with sulfate and it will form barium sulfate. Okay, now the last topic, which is redox reaction. So in this, one thing which is really important is which element is getting oxidized and which element is getting reduced, or which element is giving out oxygen or which element is gaining hydrogen. So this is a simple reaction for this. Now when copper combines with oxygen, it will be forming copper oxide. So here we can see that copper is getting oxidized. Now let's see a complete equation. Now when copper oxide reacts with hydrogen, then in the presence of heat, it will be forming copper plus H2O. Now here hydrogen is getting oxidized, whereas the carbon oxide is getting reduced to copper. So here we can see how one element is getting oxidized whereas one compound is getting reduced. Now let us see more reactions like this. Zinc sulfate plus carbon gives out zinc plus H2. Now here it will be carbon. Okay, now here carbon is getting oxidized, zinc is getting reduced. So losing of oxygen is known as reduction, or you can say gaining of hydrogen is also reduction. Okay, and MnO2 plus HCl. Now here also you might think there is no you can say oxygen in this. Well, here it is oxygen. Now the thing to remember here is C. I have written for this here, I'm sorry, I have mixed up two, but yeah, here manganese is getting, sorry, MnO2 is getting reduced to MnCl since it's losing oxygen, and HCl is getting oxidized to Cl. We can see this. Okay, so if I got anything wrong, let me know in the comment section. But that's it for today's video.